Check, check. Check, check. Hello everybody, welcome to Krokhol Open 2023, the third stop of the Euro Tour 2023. We are in wonderful Sigerud, Norway at the Krokhol disc golf course. And what a wonderful day it is there at Norway. We of course are here live from the studio in Helsinki, and we have had some wonderful disc golf in the early morning at European time here when the FPO started their opening round. We are so happy to see you there on the other side of the screen. My name is Esa-Pekka Tupala. I'm your host today, and with me, the spin doctor himself, Jaani Lansio.
Nice to be here with you. Looking forward to seeing how the MPO players are going to tackle this amazing course. It truly showed to be as tough as we anticipated for the FPO. It'll be a lot tougher for the MPO. Anything can happen.
There's actually two layouts on the Krokhol disc golf course, and the FPO was playing mostly for the blue layout, and today we are going to see the MPO tackle the gold layout. And we have some amazing tournaments in this Euro Tour, but what actually is the Euro Tour? We'll see some facts about that next. And we have a total of 11 events in the Euro Tour 2023, and they are held in 8 different countries across the Europe. And 7 best tournament results of these Pro Skins players are counted as to 1, and when those points are counted, the best players get the invite to attend the Tour Championships held in October at the Andalusia Open. And there are some great venues, some great courses we get to play and get to see here. First time at the Disc Golf Network. Once again, we are really happy that you join in. Here are some broadcast times for the weekends. We have these tournaments. We are now at the Krokhol Open. We have Swedish Open, Skellefteå, PCS Sula, and many more. And the tour is having the championship on 20th October to 22nd October. And it's so great to be in Norway, finally with the Disc Golf Network. It's beautiful, as you, Jaani, said, and we saw the FPO tackle the course, and we are soon ready to see the MPO tackle their first round here.
Yeah, and it's fun to see when the American superstars are coming finally to Europe and getting challenged by our own, the best of the best in Europe, best Finns, Swedes, and also Central European players. It's taken pretty long for them to really up their game, but as we can see, Jakub Semerad, for instance, silver lat today on the second card. Leon Zonleitner, the wunderkind, I like to call him. He's like 17-year-old.
Yeah,
amazing player.
What can we can
see. I think we can anticipate the European players coming more and more to America, American players coming to Europe, making this literally a global sport.
And it's going to be great to have all you there on the other side of the screen with us to see this course. And we're going to see some flyover just behind us there in the studio from the hole 1 and this tee pad. Man, this is gorgeous. Gorgeous way to start your round. But it's not an easy hole to start with, as you were talking, Jaani, on the FPO round. 133 meters uphill.
It's a way to start your tournament for sure. You might go for the basket, end up OB. You might go for the right side, take a spike hyzer and trust your approach shots, end up OB, end up rolling away. Anything can happen. This is a brutal way to start your tournament, but I mean, you have to start somewhere.
You have to start somewhere, and the rollaways, or the possibility of the rollaways, don't stop here on hole 1. You're going to see them almost at every hole of this tournament. And we are ready to move to the T1 and see the feature card of ours tee off soon enough. We have actually 4 different nationalities here teeing off in the feature card. As we see, we already have a great gallery there.
It's a massive gallery, actually, on the first day. And yeah, like it says, Midsummer's Eve, it's like the biggest festival of the year for us Scandinavians.
And it is today.
Yes, it is today. It's the longest night of the year. Basically, even in the south of Norway, the sun doesn't really go down.
And it's these couple of days on these Midsummer Eves around it when we have massive amount of light, as we see Mr. Paul Macbeth himself starting his tournament and starting it pretty nicely.
Yeah, definitely not laying up there. Going for the birdie.
Next one to the tee from Langevåg, Norway, latitude 64, Norwegian champ this year. We are disc golf, Øyvind Jarnes.
And the fresh fourth-time Norwegian champion Øyvind Jarnes, second on the tee. This is wide. And this is some kind of familiar thing from the FPO side.
Yeah, it was the safe shot,
From
probably.
Pärnu, Estonia, team latitude 64. Please welcome to the tee, Mr. Silver Latt.
Third on the tee, Mr. Sidearm, Mr. Forehand, Silver Latt, opening with the backhand. And this is a safe play. And that's optimal, that just beside that hill.
And the last one on the feature card from Šleby, the Czech Republic, and team latitude 64, Mr. Jakub Semerad.
Oh, this is wide.
This is really wide. But, I mean, that's
All right.
same spot.
All right, yeah.
Nobody going for the birdie.
No harm done.
No, yeah, no actually surprise any there.
We got a nice
Look at
lineup.
the gallery. Oh my.
Wish all the players good luck.
Well, it always helps to have the greatest of all times playing in the tournament. Here we have Paul Macbeth. Probably doesn't need any introductions there. Six-time world champion. We got four-time Norwegian champion. We got world putting champion, Jakob. And probably the best, one of the best sidearms in the game, Silver. So we'll see a lot of entertaining disc golf this round.
And if these guys can't entertain us, there's nobody who can.
Oh, yeah. This is also a very spectator-friendly course. Lots of open areas where you can see huge shots. But there are, I mean, this is on a golf course, but there are a lot of tight wooded holes too, so it's got great amount of variety.
Yeah, so for our American friends there on the other side of the Great Pond, good morning to you, first and foremost. And this is not a traditional golf course, ex-ball and stick golf course, disc golf course that you see in the States. No, you have lots of hills, lots of steep ways. The ground is playing with us today. And we're gonna see some amazing action. Øyvind's second throw. And landed on its side, but that's fine. Didn't roll away.
Well, it's a risky play. It's a risky play. But
Jakub did the same.
for most of the players, this is the game plan. Just go for the par and start your round
Yep.
with 0 damage done.
Yep.
You just have to avoid bogeys here on the first hole.
Totally agree there. Paul is actually in a very good spot here. Can actually run this.
Probably didn't.
Probably
didn't.
didn't. But I think he was in the best position to run it from these other 3. And as you told us, Jaani, there was this ball golf course in the area, and they decided to retire their front 9, old front 9. And these two friends happened to come by with the guys from the ball golf course, and they decided to put on the disc golf course. And we'll see some spin doctor's orders here for the disc golf tournament. Let's go.
Yeah, go big or go boring. You have to decide, standing on the tee pad, will you risk it or will you not? Boring, there's nothing to be ashamed of being boring. You take your par or maybe an easy birdie, there are lots of par 5s. If you decide to go for the eagle, be prepared to go for the OB too. There are tight holes, tight OBs, so go big or go boring. Then, love the layup. As we saw, the first basket already gave us a hint of what's coming to be. Lots of tight, very tricky baskets. You can have rollaways. If you don't feel confident enough, go ahead, lay up. It's okay. Take your par, take your bogey even, to avoid triples. And then keep your head cool. This is a long tournament. Despite you laying up, playing for the boring, you might still end up having bad breakups. Just keep your head cool, go for the next shot.
And throw like Paul here.
A throw like Paul.
That was great. So the throwing order stays the same. Everybody took the par. Øyvind, not stranger to this course. But this is 2 left. And coming from Konopiste last week, the roughs here at the Krokhol, they are not forgiving.
Yes, as we're about to see. Either there's a bad rough or an OB line. Here, the OB line goes on the right side of the fairway, and on the left side, as we see, there's a bad rough. You can decide to go boring, but I think none of these players are going boring. They go big.
Yeah, they know it's the first day. They know they can run things and get away with it. 2 great shots, 1 mediocre, and now Jakub. He trusted that driver of his in Konopiste in almost every other hole. And no wonder why. This is the furthest one. Outdraw Paul. Wow.
They're leaving, what would I guess, 80 meters?
Yeah.
Till the pin.
Let's go to see the hole 2 with some wonderful flyover footage from our drone here. Par 4, 202 meters, 664 feet, averaging 4.35 this afternoon at European time. And we have the OB there on the right side. And you will see those OB lines, they are not straight, they are not forgiving. they have been really emphasized to challenge our players today and tomorrow and the final day, Sunday.
Yeah, what you want to do here is to, well, all of our players are righties here. Throw an ante that doesn't fade out too early, but also you cannot turn it over because, of course, the right side is OB. Then the struggles only start from there because this green is not forgiving. It's on a slopey hill. Rollaways are, well, more than possible. So you want to get very, very close.
And that is almost like a 45-degree slope there.
Yeah.
Green. And we are hearing from the field that the temperature is high. The sun is scorching for a Norwegian summer day. And the wind is gusty. It's going round and round on different holes. So our players are struggling with the conditions, if you can say so, as a summer day. Irvin, actually a lucky bit there. He seems to have a line. Not quite far enough, catches that guardian branch, guardian fence there in the middle of the fairway.
Leaves himself about, what should I say, 12-meter, 40-footer.
Paul Macbeth now approaching the basket.
Take the Iser route.
This is something I'd like to play, but I really wouldn't see the reason why, because I can't control the disc like that.
Well, if you're 6-time world champion, that's kind of the stock hyzer for you.
Then we have Jakub, the CTP winner here on the hole 2. And I think they want to disc to land there and then to slide into the bullseye. Isn't that easy?
Yeah, it looks very easy. Yeah.
Beautiful shot by Jakub. Seemed like Øyvind there talking to Jakub that he was afraid of hitting his hand into the branches, and I don't blame him. I bet he was in a bad position. Luckily he had an alley through those branches, and now he's either putting for the birdie or he's doing some wise boring stuff and laying up. But I think the four-time Norwegian champion won't lay up this kind of opportunity.
What I've seen Øyvind play, I think he struck me as a kind of an aggressive player. He wants to go for it. Always.
Silver. Almost ringing it. Lucky it stays there, doesn't roll, taking the par. Bit of too soft of a run, risking that roll away.
I love the audience here. They're literally clapping to every shot.
We are left to be seen where Paul's disc is. It might have skipped a bit to the left side. And there he is. That's about 8 to 9 meters.
There it is.
That's Paul Macbeth for you. Actually really struggling last weekend at the Konopiste Open, but now he seems to have his putt running smoothly, drives looking smooth.
Yeah, Paul's season has been really different.
Jakub collects the beautiful birdie there, and Silver and Øyvind pick up their pars. Yeah, Paul's season has been up and down.
Yeah, and as we saw in Konopiste last weekend, one round was the course record, if I remember correctly, and the second one was like 15 shot worse or something like this. So inconsistent playing.
Here's
at
Paul
least.
Macbeth again. Yeah, he's having some ups and downs. Here is your top 10 at this very moment. Elias Luukkonen from Finland, young up-and-comer, 5 down through 10 holes. That's really solid.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Miro Ryhänen finished his round earlier today. He was 4 down then. Hjalmar Fredriksson, Matthias Jusdal, and Jörgen Madslien, 2 down each. And don't get me wrong, we have lots and lots golf to play and to see. And these stats you are seeing, they are brought to you by UDisc, the app for disc golfers. Over 1,400 courses there, getting bigger and bigger every day.
Yeah, that's my go-to app whenever I travel quite a lot, and whenever I go to a new country, I always go to UDisc and check out the nearest courses. So it's a really handy app for that.
Also, I think the best app to measure your distance throws on the field and on the course.
Yeah, for sure.
Onto the tee of number 3. This is getting towards that the most difficult end of the course. It looks simple, but it's 95 meters in the woods.
95 meters tunnel shot.
And Paul,
Ever an easy one.
Paul finding a tree. Surprise, surprise. 51% of people on this point carding a bogey or worse.
Yeah, it's surprisingly hard course. I mean, it looks easy on paper. All you have to do is throw a 90-meter dead straight shot. Well, as it turns out, it might just be the most difficult shot in disc golf.
And Jakub, similar
It's
miss
a bad
there.
kick.
Similar miss. Let's see if Øyvind Jans is relying on a hyzer flip or a more of a steady straight shot. He's relying on knowing the gaps where to hit. And that's great result. Circle's edge there. Then some forehand mystery and magic left to see.
Silver is known for his sidearm. Very smooth. Yep, that's the one.
And it needs
No.
to... No.
Spoke too soon.
Yep. First we have Jakub Semerad throwing his second shot on these tight woods. This is actually one of the tightest gaps considering the length of the gap on this course. And no wonder this is playing 0.77 strokes above the par.
It's nice to see the GOAT having some nice chit chat with cameraman.
Yep.
Doesn't take the game too seriously now.
It's a solid upshot through the trees, but he's not near a par.
Yep.
He's
Looks
most
like
likely
he's
gonna
gonna settle for bogey here.
Yeah, for sure.
Early in the round.
I mean, if you're gonna take like one bogey for the tournament, maybe get it on the first 3 holes.
Yeah, maybe this one is it.
Learn your lesson on the hole 3. This is
A solid
a gorgeous
approach.
layup. Gorgeous. I mean, there is a slope after the basket there on the left side, and on the right side, behind the rocks, there is a slope, but there is a lot more trees. Gusty winds for Paul Macbeth. And stay, yeah. Great job from Paul. Silver Lat looking for his forehand disc in the woods. Silver is not in an optimal position.
Well, to say the least.
Yeah. Yep. He's trying to find some way to lay up under the basket, but even that seems to be difficult. Oh, you see there's a gap right there.
Yep. Now this one needs to stop. And it does.
Great job from
I mean, he is a sidearm specialist, and
yeah.
here we can see why.
I mean, I challenge everybody from behind the screen, go there, take that spot and try that shot. And there you got it.
Yep.
Giannis.
No fear, no fear. Just go for the birdie. No matter what's behind the basket. If you're gonna hit the basket anyway, it doesn't matter what's behind it.
Yep.
And as I told you, he's playing aggressive.
Nice save by Silver.
And I don't know what is it with these Estonians. Seems like they all throw a massive sidearm. It's like whenever I see an Estonian player, I immediately know that we're gonna see some massive sidearm throws.
I mean, if you have a massive straight sidearm, you could use it here, but it's not a favorable hole for the sidearm, should we say?
Well,
it's
not
a monster.
This one is not a sidearm hole. Like, this is far from it, as you can see. OB line on the right side, all the way from the tee pad till the basket. If you want to make a mistake by fading out to the left. I mean, it's a bad draft, but still not an OB.
Nah, you can throw a forehand roller there, come downhill, going OB and coming back left.
I mean, think outside the box, for sure.
Yeah, these players for sure. We're having 4 righty backhands going on 148 meters downhill on a tricky green with a great potential for nasty skips.
And some pro tips for you: always have nail clippers in the bag, provided by the goat himself.
Evin Jans with a beautiful birdie from hole 3. Showing us how it's done. This is pretty high.
This is a little bit too high. Need some tree love. Didn't get the tree love I was anticipating, but that's not the worst case scenario for sure.
I mean, that's a basic Norwegian putt there.
Oh yeah.
Paul Macbeth trying the similar line a bit lower, I suspect. Oh, and he misses the line. That's bad.
This is a bad kick.
There is the one tree to miss in the middle of your shot here. Well, unable to commit there.
Well, that one just goes to show that even the goat is a human.
Silver trusting.
Is this overstable? Is this overstable enough? That's the question. It wasn't.
Nope.
That went OB quite early.
Yeah. Not gonna have an easy upshot, and there is no drop zone on this hole. Can Semerad show us? This is looking better, but this is a bit too overstable, maybe.
Maybe this was the boring play.
Yeah, yeah. He really didn't want to risk the OB. Took a really stable disc there. Should I say really overstable of a disc. And that's the, you can get, with some luck, you can get to a birdie putt, but most likely taking the par and moving on.
I mean, he's the putting world champion, so.
Let's go to hole 5 with Jakub Knapek. Oh my.
Oh no,
And
this is a horror story.
Oh, and goes OB there.
Do you want to re-putt that one, or do you want to take this new one?
And Bradley Williams sharing some important information there.
Yeah, he's a gentleman player for sure. Always making sure that everybody knows the rules here. You can always re-putt. Especially in those scenarios, it's a good option.
So you can dismiss your shot and take 1 shot penalty, and because that goes OB there, he doesn't get an extra penalty for.
You would have taken the penalty anyway.
Yeah. Silver now. He's 3rd after the early OB. This is great.
This is perfect.
Yeah. Check the bogey. Move on. What else can you do? We saw some pink disc action from Lykke Lorentzen on the FPO side, and Silver is actually rocking pretty much those blue and turquoise discs. Couple of white ones in there.
Maybe it's because of the Estonian flag, I don't know.
Maybe. Might be. Oh, and don't go OB.
That's a bad break.
Paul has some wood trunk magnets on his side on this hole, and that's not good, but he must take what it's given.
So just hit that tree right there, huh?
He can laugh it off still. It's good to see more relaxed Paul.
Yeah.
So I knew that was the OB line.
And I was really excited to see Paul play here today, being there in the booth for the Konopiste Open and seeing him struggle and seeing that he really wasn't there for the last couple of holes. And I can certainly I can anticipate what Paul must have been feeling like. But now he's in the mix and he's really enjoying his time there. Great weather, great pals to play disc golf with. Jakub there, playing up. Almost goes in. That's a great putt from Paul Macbeth. Great effort.
Yep, close but no donuts.
And as we visit this fresh Norwegian champion, Øyvind Jarns, in the woods, he really didn't have a solid putt. No. He's going to take the par and move on.
Yeah, I love the layup.
Silver taking his bogey. And this Krokhol disc golf course is most certainly one of the hardest courses you will play on the Euro Tour. It's one of the most picturesque, one of the most beautiful courses, but it's also really, really challenging. And especially the gold layout. If you have happened to see Eagle McMahon's solo round from here 3 years ago, it was kind of similar, but most of the holes are now 30 meters, 90 feet longer.
I think that's probably the best.
So we see the marvelous gallery there, walking on the first day with our feature card.
And considering this is the biggest holiday of the year and people still decide
And
to go.
they're there.
Yeah.
They're not on their summer cottages near of the ocean or lakes or riversides. They are there to see some great disc golf. So our lead card has opened their way in the Krokhol Open 2023 tournament. And we are moving to the next par 4, the hole 5. Going back to the fresh 4-time Norwegian champion, Øyvind Jarns. He took his first PDGA license in 2009. That's a long time ago. He has played 84 career events and he has 16 career wins. So pretty nice percentage there. And he's gonna kick us off on this par 4, 175 meters, hole number 5.
So we got a lengthy OB area all the way on the left side. There's also a bunker that is hazard. And the right side, as you can see, is very, very thick, rough. So a sidearm. That's the boring play. But also, you just have to play for the second shot.
Yep. Jakub going big. This is Heiser.
This is going OB.
Yeah. And that is a mistake for Jakub. Didn't commit to the angle.
This is turning over nicely.
And you don't mind a bit of cut roll here, but you just don't want to go left too much.
That's true. Easter sidearm, silver lat. It looks so easy and effortless.
Yep. Look at the distance he's getting. Oh, some rolls. Okay, sure, sure. Why not? Extra distance. Settle.
Yep.
Thank you.
That's the sweet spot. Right there.
If one would go by foot and place a disc somewhere.
That's what you tried yesterday and today.
Let's see the whole 5
Tried yesterday morning and now.
from the drone's
I
view.
don't know why I didn't practice the roll at one time.
Averaging one of the easier holes here, it has some genius OB lines and it has a hazard bunker. It's a great hole.
It's a great hole. It's also a good looking hole. I love the scenery here in Krokhol. The hazard, not that much in play anyway, but you just have to go over it. Then you have to turn right and just keep it to the right. It's not the end of the world if you go to the rough, but it can be end of the world if you go OB. So definitely stay on the right side and play for the second shot. The second shot is where you make or break the score.
And the green is really, really slippery and you really need some James Conrad level backhand if you want to approach it with a slower disc.
Yeah, so there are those high birch trees just in front of the basket. You probably want to go from the left side of them because the right side is really thick. It's quite narrow. But from the right side, it's kind of easier to throw a hyzer. So you have to think about it now. And I'm sure Jakob is thinking about it. Going from the right side.
Pushing the skip.
And
I think that's fine if it didn't roll away.
That's fine, but that's not perfect.
Yeah.
Definitely not something that he was going for.
Next we have Paul. I'm sorry, Irvin.
Yes.
They
Come on
No.
now. Come on now.
And,
Don't do it.
people
Don't
don't
do it.
And the disc had just a bit too much energy there after the skip, and I really was thinking that it would settle there, but no. Rolled down. This is Paul, and he's also going on the right side. Oh, there's a bigger gap. Yeah, and this is...
Yeah, he was so close that of course you can hit the gap there. But as you can see, the left side is a lot bigger and more forgiving. Silver after a huge sidearm.
He's left with not such a huge sidearm for the approach.
It's that's how you do it.
I mean, it looked like he put some 75% effort for the tee to fairway. Let's go to see Bradley Williams on hole 6. And that was for par. It was a great save from Bradley Williams. He's back.
I think you've rolled a
Even score after 6 holes. And there's your top 6. Elias Luukkonen still -5 through 12 holes now. Miro Ryhänen finished his round, and Pekka Hyvönen -3 after 15. So we are going to see some big movements here on the leaderboard as our feature card gets along with the course. And this really is one of every disc golfer's bucket list courses to visit.
Yeah, for sure. It's on my bucket list. And all over Norway. I mean, it's one of the most beautiful countries in the world with all those mountains and fjords.
Yep.
They're looking for Oyvinds.
And they found it. Seems like.
Man, that one rolled deep.
Where is he again?
It starts to resemble
Oh
Blair Witch Project here.
Oh my gosh.
A haunted forest.
For sure. At least this time we will see some footage from the ghouls and ghosts of the forest.
Oh man.
That's horrible.
Such a bad break.
What are you thinking there, Jaani? What are you thinking there?
Don't ask me. Oh
Hey.
man. And the second one.
I mean, that's a better spot. I mean, that's miraculous he even got out of there.
Yeah, that's a better spot, but still something that he wasn't expecting to do. After an approach shot that looked picture perfect and got the applause and everything. But these things, they will happen on this course for everybody. And Oyvind has played here a lot. He knows.
For sure, and he knew that he just needs to get out of the woods as far as possible, no matter what's the outcome. He most certainly managed to get out as Jakub. Running it over the basket there from the tough spot. Facing actually the bogey now. And Paul Macbeth is going to have to wait for his turn, for he's almost parked for the birdie. And Oyvind taking his medicine.
You're good, Kuba.
Doesn't want to get back into those woods. I mean, that's parked for Paul Macbeth.
It's a routine birdie for the six-timer.
Yep. Silver also. Great birdie there after the fortunate bogey on the last hole. Semerad took the bogey there.
A very unfortunate bogey for Oyvind.
Yep. And the hole 5 was actually playing second easiest on today. Here you guys grab your mobile phones. They are not Nokia 3310s anymore. You have those great camera applications and QR code readers. Read the code and subscribe to Disc Golf Network, at least if you're watching from the YouTube side of things. You're going to see some great coverage today, but tomorrow and the final day on Sunday, you will miss everything if you don't have the Disc Golf Network account for our streaming services. And supporting us really supports disc golf and supports live content coming at you guys from all over the world. So thank you for your support. Ball now on the hole 6.
This is a beauty.
It's 100 meters par 3 and ball is near the circle there.
Silver going for the forehand. It's a steep, high forehand.
I mean, sure,
Well,
stop.
that was...
We hope that stayed there.
Yeah, it looked perfect.
He's a bit long for the basket and we hope he didn't roll like Øyvind Jarns did on the last hole. Øyvind also going for the forehand. This is looking good. This is low enough so it can skip from the heel.
I think it was too low.
Oh.
Or something happened. Invisible trees.
Yeah, something truly happened there. Jakub trusting the backhand. And rolls. He's about circle's edge.
It's about the similar spot we saw Bradley Williams spot for his birdie a moment ago.
Let's see the hole from upwards. This par 3 is 100 meters long, 328 feet, averaging 4th hardest on the day, 0.04 above the average 3.
Yeah, 4th easiest.
There is this steep hill you must get over with, but then you don't want to have a lot of energy on the disc.
It's pretty straightforward. Anheuser just hit the gap and let the disc do the rest. And just aim for the basket, and if you hit the trees high enough, the disc will drop quite close to the basket anyway.
And Øyvind found some early branches or early trees. Approaching blind. And stop already. That's a steep uphill. He's got it.
It's inside the circle anyway.
Yeah. Doesn't seem happy. Jakub getting some distance there, but the basket is guarded if you come from the wood side of the fairway. Paul doesn't want anything to do with it.
Just laying up.
Yep. He knows he will have some other opportunities on this hole and on the other holes to come.
You know, it's a tricky basket placement where the GOAT is laying up and the putting world champion is laying up.
You first.
Silver
Going for the solo birdie.
that would
this
be
card.
something. He would really need this to get his negative points started for the round.
Oh no.
Launching over the basket.
That didn't look right.
Yep, something was off there. Maybe.
Oh, stay
just-
in. Wow.
Just on the
It-
left side.
Yeah, it was sneaking through the basket and just barely stayed inside.
Yeah, there was some adrenaline
Yeah.
going on in his veins during that putt. Waiting for it to settle.
That was a nice comebacker from Silver,
Yep.
taking his par and on to the next hole.
For sure.
Was it all freeze? I didn't realize there's such a big lake here.
Let's go to hole 7. That's great.
Yeah,
From Leon's
Wunderkind
on light.
from Austria.
Yep. Solid
Such a-
-3 with the bogey.
Yeah, he's such a cool dude. Played with him a couple of times, and he can throw the disc. He's one of the farthest thrower I've ever seen. He's only like 17 or something. It's amazing. Amazing to see this talent.
Give it a little foot minus back to the middle. I mean, it's just I tried to get over there for a little spin on it. That should be good.
The gallery is lining up for the next hole.
Ideally, it lands where Joey is.
See some massive drives or some wide and boring shots.
I don't know. I would like to see some massive launches.
Yep. There is not so much danger on this hole. Paul turns this over. Is it stable enough?
It is.
Sure. He might be just a bit on the right side from the spot he would wish to be, but that's not a problem for Paul. Silver. Bang. Go for him.
It's too much to the left.
Yep,
Yep.
that's gonna be tricky. Giannis.
Ah, pure hyzer.
Yep. That was a great form. And just behind those bushes there.
Probably don't matter.
And Jakub.
Keeping it low.
This is looking nice. Yeah. That's how you do it.
Somewhere on the middle of the fairway. It's a 193 meter, fairly straight hole with no OBs. 633 feet, par 4. Just have to clear the gap, and then it's pretty straightforward. Go straight, straight, straight. But of course, the putting area, as we've seen, is one of the trickiest ones.
And wherever you land on this fairway, you just can't give up the hole. You just have to commit to the next shot. And there are multiple ways you can approach this green, but there are even more ways to mess up the approach.
Yeah, I
would you
mean,
say?
there are multiple ways, but no good ones.
Yeah. Here's some Øyvind Jarn's facts for you. Just this Monday, he won the Norwegian Championship, and he has won the national title 4 times.
Yeah, 3 times in a row, and
Yeah.
the first time was already in 2014, so
Yep.
definitely some merits there. Doesn't have to prove anything anymore. He can play.
There you can see our feature card players, leaderboard checkups at the Krokhol, or as you would call it, the Krok.
The Krok, I like it.
Øyvind has a line there. Needs this to fade and stop. It stops, but it's long. He has a putt.
Yeah, for sure, he has a putt. Okay, where's Silver?
Yep. He's on a bad spot.
Camera is waiting for the disc to land.
Yep. The
Didn't
disc
see anything.
went back to Estonia.
Didn't see anything.
Jakub, he's second. And stay for him.
We've been seeing this awful lot today.
Yep.
Almost
This-
a perfect shot, but then a bad roll away kind of ruins everything.
Yeah, and this green is really one of the toughest
Yeah.
places to land correctly. Let's see if Paul can. This is looking great. I mean, that's why he's Paul Macbeth. That's
Paul McGrath, ladies and
grand.
gentlemen.
most definitely.
When you look at the play of the best players, like the true champions, it doesn't look like anything. I mean, the drive, the opening shot of Paul, it looks like he went 60%.
Yep.
It was still closest to the basket. And then the approach shot, that was nothing. And it's a tap-in birdie. And if you play with them after the round, you're like, what? When did he score that well? I didn't see that coming.
Yep. Go in? Nah, just under the basket.
Yeah, great recovery from Silver there.
And if you want to learn some those wristful flick forehands approaches, you will see them from Silver and you take notes from them. That was really wide, but he trusted the stability of the disc and trusted the amounts of spin he can put onto the disc.
I would say it's one of the most important shots of the game is the approach shot. But to do it on the sidearm, it makes things so much easier. You see the basket all the time or the gap you're aiming to. And you don't need much space. So if you're in a bush or somewhere where you really can't move your body, your arm at all, then you go for the sidearm. That's, I think, is one of the most important shots of the game.
That's a great point. Øyvind laying up. Almost inside the circle, still deciding for the par. He knows what's behind that putt if he misses.
Yeah, and if you don't feel confident enough, that's the best option you can do.
Love the layup, as the doctor said.
You have to love it.
Jakub. And again a bit high, but it settles for him.
Yeah, the putter is pretty cold for the world champ.
Discarded 2 bogeys on this round and only 1 birdie on hole 2. He really needs to get something started here.
And also looks like the wind is picking up. If you see the branches there waving, looks like it's going to get tougher and tougher for our lead group here, or the feature card.
Yeah, totally. Jakub taking the par. Paul picking up the birdie. Great job from the world champ. Paul sneaks 2 down, so he's currently tied 4th with that result.
For his, for the FX6. Yeah.
Here's your top 10. Elias Luukkonen took another birdie there on the hole 14. And he's now on 15, putting for another one. We have Miro Ryhänen finished his round already 4 down. The Wounded kid Leon Sonleitner on the 3rd place with 3 down. And then we have a bunch of people, 2 down, 1 down, even. And again, these stats of these tournaments are brought to you by UDisc, the app for disc golfers.
And just looking at the ages of these people, Elias Luukkonen under 20 is something like 18, Miro Ryhänen 19, Leon Sonleitner something 17 and 18. So
Yep.
there we have the future of disc golf right there. And Paul Macbeth is the, well, I don't know if it's the future, but it definitely is one of the best of all time. So it's a very interesting lead at the moment.
Yeah, for sure, and it's going to be really exciting to see how this round is developing for the players.
I'm just waiting for the camera.
On the FPO side of things, we had really different results. We have some 3 downs under the first 7 to 8 holes, and then came the bogeys. Then we had some 2 or 3 bogey start rounds, even a double start round, and then those birdies came by, and the leading score after the first days from a Finnish Silva Saarinen, 3 down, and then bunch of people even score. Now moving to hole 8, par 4. And okay. Sure. Considering the claps.
This is a tough one.
Yeah.
I mean, anything can happen on this hole. Let's talk about it later when we see the drone footage.
I mean, go where Paul is for these other guys.
Yeah, I mean, Paul is an example.
And Silver kicked left there. That's not an easy spot to continue.
No, and there is a mandatory here, and I'm afraid that Silver might have gone
The wrong side.
the wrong side, yeah.
Let's see Øyvind Jans.
Overcorrecting from Silver, going too much to the right.
But in the
But, yeah. Basically a sweet spot.
Jakub. Can he flip this through the tunnel, or is he going hyzer through the woods?
Straight at the tunnel.
This looks great. Oh my.
Oh, yeah. It's perfect.
That's how you do
perfect, yeah.
Slower disc flip it up and keep it going on the line it goes. Jakub Semerad from Czech Republic. Let's see the hole again. Give it a go, Jaani.
Yeah, so what we have here is hole 8, par 4, 241 meters or 791 feet. The players are aiming at this gap that we are seeing here right in front of us. And there, with the white paint, there is the Mando. You have to go from the right side of it. If you miss the Mando, you continue from the drop zone. And the fun only starts from there, because here is like an OB lake, an artificial OB lake.
Why not? Why not, Jaani? Why not?
OB lake here, you have to go over it, or maybe to the right side, and then aim at this gap that you cannot see properly when you are behind the OB. So you have to go past the OB or to the right side, then you can see the gap. If you haven't passed the OB, it's a blind shot, and it's kind of a pure lock shot there.
And come again, was this a par 7 or a par 8?
It's par 10 for me.
Okay.
I would play this as a par 10.
And if you happen to have visited some Finnish Tyyni Open sometimes, there is this hole we call the Monster, which should be like a par 7 or par 8, and this is reminding us about that hole.
That's pretty similar. It's very close to the small tree there, causing him some worries. That was a beautiful shot.
Yep. That was great.
The audience there behind even didn't appreciate it that much because they couldn't see the result.
Yep.
I think they're discussing about if it went past the Mando or not.
I think he might be short of the Mando.
Could be, yeah.
Shaking his head, he had nothing else to do. Not even a forehand. And Jakub range finding. Let's go live with the Wunderkid.
Oh, shit.
Leonson Leitner.
Leitner going.
That's
What?
Okay.
What in the world? A grenade.
That was 85 meters uphill.
A grenade. All right.
Why not? What was his nickname again?
The Wunderkind.
Yeah.
It's quite self-evident when you see him play.
And oh my, Jakub has missed his line here with a perfect drive. Missed his angle totally, and he's now in the thick woods. And there is actually no OB on the left side there, but there is the rough. And I bet every player in this tournament, at some point they wish there was an OB, so they wouldn't have to go to the rough and continue from there. I believe Øyvind had those thoughts a couple of holes ago after the roll away. And now Silver has some work left. Roller?
Mm-mm.
I mean, that's safe.
That's safe, but I'm not sure if he was really going for the roller or just a turnover.
Yeah, that's a good point. Paul Macbeth.
Buttery
The lucky drive.
smooth.
This is short. Yep.
Yep, you called it.
We have some interesting putting and interesting layup coming up on this monster hole.
Miro Ryhänen actually won in Oulu, Finnish professional disc golf tour tournament just a week ago. So he's definitely making a name this season.
Yeah, great job from the young gun. As Elias Luukkonen, he actually had the hot round of the Pro Forester, the first Euro Tour event this year. The last day he put a score of -12, which was 1088 or 1078
Yeah, that's
rated.
insane round on Pro Forester.
Yep.
That's totally insane.
And he might not be able to do a -12 here, but I mean, he's going for the -10 at this current rate.
The struggle continues with Silver. This is now his fourth shot, going for the basket, and
Yep.
I mean that still is a par. So
Yeah.
there are so much easier ways to take your par than what Silver has gone through.
Is that a par or is that a bogey?
That's true. Actually, this is not a par 5.
Okay, sure, yeah. So that's
That's
he's going to pick up a bogey.
That's
there.
true. That's true.
I mean, it is a par 5.
Yeah, it feels like par 5, but that's true. That's par 4. My mistake.
And that's a great shot through the woods from Jakub. Seems like he has a tap-in par. I'm not correct. I'm not incorrect here. Even Jans. Just wishes this to sit, and it does. It's going to be interesting to see if we get any birdies on camera on this hole, playing the most difficult hole of the day, and no wonder.
Maybe we don't have to wait for long. That was close.
Yeah, that was really close for Paul. This hole only has 3 birdies. Morten Christiansen, one of those 3, a local from Oslo. And then, are you surprised to hear that Roni Rönkkönen actually took a birdie here with that huge arm, and Bradley Williams? also
Congrats.
took a birdie.
Congrats to these 3 gentlemen for showing us that it is truly possible to take a birdie here.
And for Bradley, that was actually a 5-meter putt for the birdie. So he did great, as did Morten Christiansen. Let's go see some different disc golf action.
Yeah, I want to see this again. I wasn't prepared for this the last time.
So Leon Sonnleitner.
Sonnleitner going for the grenade. The backspin has as we used to call it. And
He almost got into the circle.
gusty wind. Stay there.
That was a tough putt. Really wanted a birdie with a grenade there.
Yeah,
actually made-
I mean, that was the one of the most outside the box plays I've seen so far
Yeah,
this tournament.
yeah, and he actually made the second putt, so he took the par on the whole 9.
Seems like the conditions are getting a little bit tougher for the players who started later than for the players who actually started a bit earlier. So that comes into play. The wind is coming into play for sure at this time.
You are correct, Jaani, there. And we are having some waiting to do here while those other groups are going through their round. It's not uncommon here at Krokhol to wait on some of these tee pads. It's really tough to manage some of these holes. But now Paul Macbeth opening the hole 9, par 3. This looks really good. I mean, sure, why not? Almost bullseye. Great job. And Øyvind Jarn's clipping.
Getting the early tees, but doesn't much affect the disc flight.
Yeah, some Norway love there for the Norwegian champion. That's a putt.
From the circle's edge.
Yep. And Jakub, same disc as with which he opened the last hole. Seems to be working. What a kick! What was that? There must be some kind of a rock or...
Yeah, very bad break. Something you just can't help yourself. That just happens.
Yeah, you did everything correct there. Nasty kick. And then we have this Mr. Silver Lat.
That's a beauty. A little bit long.
Great shot.
There's also an OB line if you go further from there, but I think Silver is going to be okay. Putting from the circle's edge.
Yeah, yours should have skipped and then actually skipped
A bit downhill on this elevated basket.
underneath.
Here you have some weather conditions. About 26 degrees Celsius, 79 degrees Fahrenheit. Humidity about 30% there. And constant wind about 2 meters per second. But as we were getting in for...
Yeah, looks tougher, looks harder.
Yeah, we have some gusts all over the place. And they can attack from nowhere. Let's see that Paul Macbeth drive again. Roll back the replay. Glorious hyzer flip and just playing for the... And he actually just missed the spot where Jakub got the nasty kick. Maybe World Champ Love?
Champ Love there.
Maybe committing to the putt.
Well, that's finally seeing some...
Great job.
Seeing the Øyvind we're so used to see.
Carding the birdie, going 1 down. Jakub lining another one. And the putting champion is a bit off today with his putting. He's being over, he's being under. Not really even clashing the chains. Jeff Spring there. The Pro Tour. Silver Lat
Oh, come on.
Slashing the chains and just a bit low.
I don't know. At these moments, you really don't want to hear the audience clapping when you missed a 7-meter putt.
And that is actually something that I've been noticing, that disc golf crowds, they really clap on every single putt. But in those like stick and ball golf tournaments, they really they know when just not to clap, and the successful shots, they get the audience to cheer up in a great manner.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for applauding and all for cheering and everything. Let's get rowdy. But when you miss a short putt, that's, I don't want to hear anybody say that it was a good effort. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah,
it was a horrible putt, to be honest.
I mean, how do you react for the claps when you miss a short putt? Thank you.
It becomes awkward.
Let's go to hole 10 and see Leon Sonnleitner. Beautiful putt, and that was actually for the bogey, but it was a great catch.
Yeah, the OB is getting very close on hole 10.
Also give Pulsea Disc Golf Academy a go, pulsea.com. See what their Disc Golf Academy is up to. Some great content there. I mean, at this point, our lead card has just finished the front 9. And let's go to see what they're up against next on this hole 10.
Hole 10, downhill, par 326 meters, 413 feet. OB surrounds the hole. I've seen people go high hyzer, but there's a risk. If you can't get the disc land inbounds, it went OB very, very early, so there's a risk. You can always go straight at the basket, and that's kind of the safe route, but the green is very tight. There's a lots of OB everywhere, and you just have to make a decision here. Okay.
Paul wishes this to turn.
Maybe a bit more. Nah, it's right in the middle, but left some putting to do.
And Paul is playing pretty conservatively now.
Yeah. Irvin is lining up for the huge hyzer.
It seems like the wind is not blowing as hard right now as it was moments ago, when you can see it there. There it goes. Does it have enough power to come to the left?
Power is not an issue.
I mean, sure. Circle 1.
Yeah. The power is not an issue. It's about the angle. If you go long or if you go, I mean, wide, left or right. Well, it's only 126 meter shot. Pretty steep downhill.
Jakob also following Øyvind. Just in back.
That's close. That was very close from a disaster.
Yeah.
I mean, that's almost a re-tee if you can't get inbounds.
Silver weighing his options and going for the sidearm, it seems. Going wide.
I like this play.
Wishing no skip. And it's
Just barely stays in.
Yeah. They're gonna have some interesting putts coming up.
I like the spike.
I mean, the OBs.
Yeah, it's just, you can take a big number with the jet line.
Yes. Well, we should take a 5.
Yeah,
4
that
and we
works.
should throw here, right?
Yeah, just a forehand from there, yeah.
But yeah, I came out and the first day I nailed it, like 3 or 4, right in the circle. After that, not a single one was landing down.
So Paul and Jakub chattering there. Paul really liking this hole and actually getting some nice opening shots on those practice rounds. About 3 or 4 of them, but after that, not a bullseye hit. The OB is surrounding the basket, as you, Jaani, told us just a moment ago. But it's not so imminent that you couldn't run a putt there from where those players are located. Let's go to hole 11, where we see Leon driving his way to the basket.
What is happening?
Something is happening. Gets a grip lock there.
I mean, I've played with Leon a couple of times. There are times when he tries too much, and then you see things like that happen. But when he can play in his best level, it's just amazing.
Silver for the birdie.
There it is.
Catching it. Great job. Back to even score for the round.
Shook off that nasty little miss from the last hole.
Jakub. And not able to cash in.
Putter is cold for Jakub.
Yep. Jans. Beautiful birdie. Would you say it's just not the day for Jakub with his putter?
It's hard to know what really is happening when you start missing.
I mean, Paul.
All right.
Sure. Why not?
You just start missing, and then you feel like, oh, hey, I have to correct this issue that I'm against with, and you just don't know what the issue is. I'm not sure if Jakub is thinking about it, but seems like he misses some confidence at this point.
Yeah, for sure. So Paul is actually 4 down through the last 6 holes, and he's looking really solid. Bradley Williams 3 down for the last 5 holes, and he's on the hole 11. We'll take a short commercial break right now, and we'll be back with you soon enough.
Hey, I'm Johannes,
Hey, I'm Jonathan.
and today we're going to talk about how to aim.
We have some problems with the distance, the timing, and pretty much everything. This is kind of the ground or the beginning of the throw.
There you go. So we're going to throw some forehands.
Oh yeah.
Then you just stroke the board and then you push it in the basket. You should never, ever throw your max on a golf course.
What?
we are back with you with the action from Krokhol Open 2023, the third stop of the Euro Tour. And we are really, really happy to see you here with us, seeing this beautiful crowd, beautiful gallery there surrounding our players when they're moving to the hole 11. And if it happens that those players are feeling like sure, we've had some disc golf up to this point, we are going to have some pretty great holes ahead of us. And this is Bradley Williams on hole 11. And from circle 2, almost connecting the birdie. He's going to get the par. He's going to stay 3 under for the round.
You got yours?
Yeah, I have mine.
I think it's you.
Knut van Halen. Holland there. He's actually 3 over for the round. Not getting those wheels started. Hitting the cage. How would you, Jaani, rate these putts here? What is the worst case to miss these putts here in Krokhol?
If you hit the cage, things can always happen. When you hit the cage, makes the disc roll away in worst case scenario.
Sunlightner didn't get any rollaways. He's disappointed with his putt there.
Well, to say the least.
Jakub Knapek from Czech Republic. And not able to connect there. The Krokhol disc golf course is getting its toll on these players. There. Finishing the hole, and Sunlightner actually taking a bogey there after the center circle miss. Bradley Williams for the par. And they are now leaving the green of hole 10. And I mean, this, if you separate these holes and take them out of the context, I'm sorry, we're on the hole 11 here. I mean, they seem like they're so difficult on their own. And then when you put them together on this beautiful property, I mean, it feels overwhelming to battle against all these narrow fairways and all those rollaways and possibilities of different kind of roughs. But it's an amazing experience for these players.
The trick is to not put them together. They're just separate holes, separate throws. You cannot think of the course together. It's just 18 separate holes. Just play them consecutively.
Yeah. And here we are. 149 meters.
Going straight at the
Does this
basket.
turn? It does. It's a great late flip.
Oh, that was a beautiful shot by Mr. Sixth Time.
And he doesn't care even if it faded out a little bit to the left.
I mean, that was a beautiful shot. A great hang time.
Yeah.
They've been lining up for the hyzer.
Getting the flip up.
I mean, you have to trust your luck there.
Yeah, there are no fairways or no
There's
tunnels through.
basically no gap.
Yeah.
But you're still putting, probably.
Silver also going for the hyzer, a little bit narrower of a drive, and this looks great. And that is great.
Probably somewhere near Circle's edge.
And Semerad.
Lining up for the straight one. Is overturned.
Yeah, and we didn't see it come to the fairway. Remains to be seen what he has in front of him. Let's see Paul Macbeth's drive again. This was gorgeous. Let's roll back that Zuka replay. Glorious hang time.
Yeah, it was beautiful, straight as an arrow.
Look at this. Yeah. Marvelous.
So that way you don't cross fairways. You walk behind 8, you go down the hill, and you play like out here. And then
You don't have the hyzer anymore.
Yeah, and then you got like a long par 4.
Yeah.
Redesigning the course here, I guess.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. I mean, Paul's known for purchasing some areas and some land masses to build those courses, or just to keep safe.
Yeah. The Paul Macbeth Foundation is funding some courses in Africa, South America. To be honest, Norway doesn't need much funding from Paul Macbeth, the richest country in the world, I guess.
I guess something about that, yeah. Jakub, actually not so much in the rough that I expected him to be. He's trying to get down for the birdie, I mean for the par. Talking about birdies, because this feels like a par 4 to me, and that is great.
It's a nice skip to get the bullseye hit. Just take your par, walk away.
Elias Luukkonen still leading your tournament, 7 down. Paul Macbeth and Pekka Ryhänen following suit at 4 down. Miro Ryhänen finished his round. Evin Jans for the birdie. deciding to lay up. Irvin currently 2 down for the round and wishing to stay there.
Yeah, we've seen some uncharacteristically smart goal from Irvin.
Yeah. Paul knew right away from his hand.
Yeah, he knew it.
And coming from Konopiste last weekend, how would you describe, Jaani, as we are going to see the whole 12 flyover, the roughs here are on the utmost other end of difficultness when compared to, for example, Konopiste. How do you feel like looking at this kind of a hole that if you go to the left or if you go to the right, firstly you're OB, and second, if you are not, it's almost impossible to get anywhere from there.
Yeah, Konopiste is a feel-good course, basically. If you don't get the birdie, you'll get the par, and you go for the next birdie. And if you don't get, you get. I mean, it's birdie, birdie, birdie. Here, you get the par, and you're happy with it.
Yeah, for sure. As you can see, this monster par 4, 267 meters, averaging 7th hardest on the day. It has water, a pond. It has OB. It has some guardian fences there. And Elias Luukkonen, 8 down through 17, took the birdie. And he actually took it from 2 meters. And that's an amazing score to have compared to the others. I mean, he's running it.
Yeah, it takes some courage to chase the birdies on those 3 last holes. We're going to see that later.
And we'll take a short break again. We'll be back with you soon at the Krokhol Open 2023.
This is Latitude 64. We handle the smallest of grains with the greatest of passion. Always trying to improve, trying to be better, out of curiosity, excitement, out of thrill, for the player, for the game. Because we want to make disc golf awesome for you.
This is the new up to ice orbit. Look
at this
very nice thing.
tingling.
When you first sign up for a PDJ membership, you're given a PDJ number. Your PDJ number is a stamp for when you got involved in the sport. It's a badge of pride for players and a part of your disc golf identity. Get your number today. Visit pdj.com/join.
And we are back. at the Krokhol Open 2023. The opening day for the tournament, and we have had some pretty great action for the MPO card.
Yeah, great action, surprising action, entertaining action.
For sure.
And it'll get more entertaining once we get to the final holes, which are they're tricky to say the least.
Yeah, our cards, they are not getting any relief from the course heading to the last 7 holes.
No, there will be island holes, and if the wind is picking up, that will for sure play a big role there. Anything can happen. So far, it's fun to see that the young kids, Elias Lukkonen, Miro Ryhänen, whose play we didn't see so far, are playing so well against Paul Macbeth, like the icon of sports.
Yeah, for sure. And Elias Lukkonen, actually, he went over the 1000 rated line on last update. He's now 1004 rated. He has 113 career events, 29 career wins, and he's been practicing a lot on the off season. We've seen it from his social media, and it's really getting some action down there on the course.
Yeah, and on top of that, he's a very sophisticated, nice young kid. So I just love to see all these young people getting involved with the sport, and that they are so smart and everything. Yeah. They're really showing the future for us.
Yeah. Calm and collected, as they say in the States.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's great to have you there on the other side of the screen with us. And remember, this first round coverage is brought to you free from YouTube if you're not watching yet on the Disc Golf Network. And we really wish that you will do a subscription to our services so we can provide the best content possible for all the disc golfers and disc golf fans around the globe. And we are back on the hole 12, where Paul Macbeth is laying his opening drive just on the left side of the fairway. The previous hole 11 played 6th in difficulty today, and this hole 12 is playing 7th in difficulty. Øyvind Jansen, beautiful job there. 267 meters, par 4. And Silver Lat from Estonia, also going with the backhand. And that's a nice roll away. Stay there.
Oh, okay. It's perfect.
Yeah, that's perfect.
That's a perfect spot.
Jakub Semerad rounding up.
It's very low, safe.
Yep.
And again, this is a hole where you play for the second shot.
That's exactly the point. You can see Paul and Øyvind. Let's see live action from the basket.
For double bogey.
Yep. Sunlightner really not feeling it at this moment. Starting the double bogey.
He's taking some big pluses now.
Yep.
3 bogeys and a double.
Yeah, he's +5 for the last 5 holes. Holland.
Holland for bogey, yeah. So things are changing.
And Bradley Williams will take a par here, and he's settling pretty nicely on those negative points, should we say. He's -3 total, and considering the other points on the field, that's not bad.
Not at all, not at all. But the back nine is a lot harder than the front nine, so you should really play for the front nine. You take whatever you can and then put the brakes on. That's basically it.
And be boring even, if you follow the doctor's orders.
Oh yeah.
Now, Silver, after the conservative drive, he's going for the green with his humongous sidearm skills.
Going over the pond, relying on the skip.
Doesn't get everything.
Didn't get much skip, but that's still probably circle's edge for the birdie.
And it is interesting to see Silver's form. I mean, he doesn't move his hip away from the throw as like Eagle does really hard. So he just snaps the disc and it goes miles and miles.
It's a very compact form.
Yeah. Jakub Semerad, he's second with a turnover. Actually a straight shot there. Does it have stability? Kick somewhere from the right side.
All lining up for the sidearm too. I think that's the first one we see from him this round.
Does this have?
This one needs to have some fade in it. It
has some luck.
It had some luck, yeah. Could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, for sure.
Had gone deeper.
Moving Jans.
Oh no.
Missing his line, but gets through. That's a fortunate break.
Yeah, and that's putting. Definitely not anything close to what he was trying to do.
And it's really daunting for these players to keep up with this course if they don't stay focused and stay on top of their hydration and nutrition during the round. It's really crucial here. Although it's not scorching hot as in the temperature, but the sun is shining really hot on these players right now. And the course is long. It's not as long as Konopiste throwing wise, but otherwise it's a hike.
Yeah, it's mentally a lot longer than Konopiste for sure.
Would you say, Jaani, that there is more of these surprising and new moments that you have to tackle on this course compared to some others like Konopiste, for example?
Well, yeah, it's very hard to talk about Konopiste and Krokhol in the same sentence. There are two totally different courses, two totally different mindsets you tackle these courses.
Jakub has nothing but a layup, and that's a nice one. Taking his medicine and his par. Krokhol, is he running this? Maybe a bit. Softly, but that's...
Yeah, it definitely was a run.
Yeah, solid par. Silver. The great forehand. Can he cash this in?
Oh,
and he
yeah.
can!
That's a beauty.
Look at that. The Estonian. Coming after a really slow-looking start. Slow-looking front nine there. 2 bogeys, 1 birdie, and now in 2 holes, I mean in 3 holes, he has 2 birdies.
Yeah. It's a very big putt from 18 meters for the sidearm phenomenon.
Jakub for the par. Paul will take his par. Øyvind take his par. Total of 8 players carding the birdie on this hole today. Let's see the Silver lad putting again. It was great to see Silver cashing some longer putts.
Yeah, beautiful hyzer putt. Aiming high on the basket.
Yeah.
Cashing perfectly in.
Let's go see hole 13. 2/3. Almost paid.
It looks like a breather on the paper, but it is not.
Yep.
I mean, you just take a look at this gap and you see why it's such a hard hole. But that's pretty much the only obstacle there is. There is the OB on the right side, but that takes just bad luck if you end up there. It's 103 meters, 338 feet. Aim straight, hit the gap, take the birdie.
And it might be that if Silver chooses to go with the forehand and he chooses wrong discs, maybe he might fade into the OB, but that's something he must consider.
I still think that's basically bad luck if you end up there.
For sure. Elias Luukkonen still 8 down through 17 holes. Paul Macbeth. Hjalmar Fredriksson, 15-year-old from Sweden, tied with Miro Ryhänen on the 2nd place, 4 down. Bradley Williams currently solo, 5th, 3 down. Øyvind Jarns, Matthias Jusdal and Jürgen Madsilien tied for the 6th, 2 down. And Øyvind on our feature card still has 6 holes to play with also Bradley Williams has 6 holes, Paul Macbeth, Silver lad, all our feature card and second to last card players. And the weather in Norway, it can be pretty tricky sometimes. It can change in a minute, and for now we are getting some nice conditions for the players. I bet they are enjoying those small gusts there, so the air isn't like constantly still.
I mean, there's no better place in the world than Scandinavia in midsummer.
And it truly is Midsummer's Eve there. As you can see, the temperature still 26 degrees Celsius, about 80 degrees Fahrenheit, humidity about 30%. And that's something we saw in Konopiste. On those morning rounds, we had like almost 80% humidity. The air was really, really thick. And here you have pretty much an the most optimal summer day. It's the Midsummer's Eve. Really a grand festival for the summer solstice.
Yeah, it's a record-breaking weather. The scoring weather.
We truly hope those players are enjoying themselves on the field. So we see Silver choosing the forehand.
And this looks perfect.
Is this long?
Now skip. Ah,
Perfect.
circle's edge.
Yeah, for sure. Great job. On this hole 13, the OB is actually an island of trees there on the right side, so it's not a straight line. And Paul missing his line again. He did the same thing on the hole 3.
Yeah, this is a similar shot.
And a great, great shout out for the designers of this course and these tee pads. They look marvelous.
Even hitting the gap.
Yep.
Now it's
Stay.
red.
That's beautiful. Great shot. We have Jakub Semerad left. The last one on the opening round. The tee off on hole 13. This looks like it. Solid shot there. 3 putts for birdie and
Paul.
And Paul.
It's interesting to see where Paul landed. A very nasty looking kick.
Let's see Øyvind Jan's drive. This very hole. This was beautiful, Jaani.
Yep, that's how you do it.
Missing the basket for about 1.5, 2 meters maybe. But I mean, he wasn't going for the ace.
It probably wasn't, but I mean, I would take it.
For sure. Every time. Most certainly looking at a great birdie to go 3 down for the round.
Alder has a nasty tree right in front of him.
He is going with the backhand hyzer. He's not challenging those 10s with his forehand.
Just get in front of that thing. In front of it.
Can he throw it any better than that?
Asking the disco in front of that tree, and I mean, he might have some sound control over his discs. Seems like so.
I mean, there's no other explanation.
That was great. From that spot, taking a tap-in par. Love the layup. Gotta love the layup.
Yeah, that wasn't a layup, man.
Next on the line, Jakub. And they're just checking the location of Silver's and Silver's disc. Yeah, found it. Jakub a bit outside circle 1. And the wind is down for the moment, as you can see from the flag. Now it's time for the putting world champion to show what he's made of. Not quite yet. Stay. He has a pretty substantial putt for the par.
Mm-hmm. Do I remember correctly that he's putting over the basket quite often, or
Several
hitting the
times.
band, hitting the band?
Yeah. Silver.
Oh yeah.
He's on a run.
Yeah, he's on fire at this moment. Just look at him putting.
That was more circle too, like 15 meters.
Yeah, another one.
45 feet, 50 feet. Sure.
Nice.
Silver lat, 3 down for the last 4 holes, and Øyvind 3 down for the last 5 holes. So making moves there. Jakub grabbing the par, and Paul tapping in his par from 3 meters. Yep. It's a great approach from Paul. And we have 5 more holes to go with this feature card. Let's roll back that Zuka replay with Silver lat from 15 meters outside the circle, so in circle 2. Great job.
He has a great putting style.
Yeah.
The disc has a lot of carry. He has power in the putt, but even if he misses, it doesn't fly far.
Yeah, and that's really a admirable thing to have, a putt with power, but not with a much of a penalty.
Yeah, it's not uncontrollable power.
And it has been a popular thing to see Finnish players putt with humongous power sometimes. Really strong spin putts.
Yeah, especially the young guns. They're always going for the basket no matter what. They learn to putt hard.
Here, you wish you don't have to putt hard. Hole 14, par 3, 96 meters, but there's a catch. There is this creek.
Yeah, there are plenty of catches. The OB on the right side near the basket, OB on the left side all the way. And there's always also a gap you have to hit.
Yeah. And as you saw there, Sunlight now picking up his disc from the pond. And this is a hole where if you land inbounds and safe and about 50 meters short, you don't want to force it to the basket.
This is one of those layup holes again. But a beautiful one. Look at this scene.
Marvelous. Silver. Didn't look right.
Also, we didn't get any red flags. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
For a while, it looked very bad.
Yeah, and for my knowledge, everything left side of the Greek also is OB, so.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's true.
Let's see if Øyvind can got the forehand and he wishes to go down.
This is headed towards the OB.
And it stays in bounds. That's a pretty strong gasp he had there after that shot landed inbounds.
Sigh of relief.
Well, Macbeth going low.
Going straight at the basket, as you should.
Sure, with a putter. Not a problem. Semerad. An overstable sidearm. It's looking just fine.
Yeah, it looks similar to Silver's. And it's red.
It is
The
red.
question is, did we see Silver go red too? I'm afraid we did.
You want to play one from back here or just green?
I think it was inbound on the other side.
Did Silver cross? First shot.
Just want to play one in case. You can do it for visual, but I just don't know where the string is that nice.
Well, the thing is, the spotters, they're only spotting if it went OB or not. They can help the players, but the players make the decision if the disc is inbounds and where it last crossed inbounds. So the spotter is just there to help. They cannot do any decisions for the group.
Yeah, and that's a great point. There are many of these situations where the group itself decides if there needs to be a penalty shot or some kind of protocol to be followed.
Yeah, some other solution there.
This is Silver's third. Wishes this to be close, and that's nice.
Yeah, it's a long putt for bogey.
Yeah.
I don't know how the OB curves. I thought it went over the inbound and then maybe OB.
Let's go see Bradley Williams opening the hole 15. Par 3, 106 meters. This is looking great.
Whoa.
Wow. That's how you throw some turnover shots. And Bradley is known of those.
For sure. One of the most beautiful forms I've ever seen, actually. Very smooth, solid, controlled.
And Bradley here putting for the birdie.
And cashing in.
-4 for the round. And Bradley is playing pretty interesting golf there. He actually got some bogeys on the front nine on the easier one, and now he's parring out and getting some birdies here and there on the back nine.
Sometimes it gets some. You have to warm up properly.
Yeah. That was great. You hear Øyvind Jans there laying up the putt and making some some chicken noises there.
Yeah.
That's the mark that he's not.
And not taking himself too seriously.
Yep. Jakob taking his par. That's a nice
Finally.
one.
Finally, we see Jakob cashing in a longer putt. Silver for the bogey. It's a nice save nonetheless.
Krokhol for the birdie. That's great.
It's -5 for Paul now.
Yeah, Paul going only 2 strokes behind Elias Luukkonen, who just finished his round with an unfortunate bogey. And there we see the crew, volunteers, lining those huge crowds for not to be in the middle of the play there. And if you are just tuning in, you are very much welcome to see the coverage from Norway, from gorgeous Sigerud, Norway. We are at the Krokhol disc golf course for the 3rd stop of the Euro Tour 2023. We have had the Pro Forester, and we had Konopiste last weekend, and this is the 3rd stop of the tour. Total of 11 events, and then a bonus on a cherry on the cake. The 12th event is the Andalusia Open, the Tour Championship. And now on the hole 15 here at the Krokhol, Paul McBeth showing some Paul McBeth stuff. Beautiful turnover.
Oh, we just saw Bradley Williams birdie. It's only 106 meter or 348 feet, so shouldn't be much of a challenge for this card.
Even Jan's going low, going forehand.
Going for the skip.
Stay.
And it did.
That's great. 2 birdies looking to come by on this feature card. Can Semerad execute his tee shot?
This one needs to stay up there.
Yep. Well done.
The OB is quite close to the basket on the right side. It's a lot closer than the creek. Silver with his trademark sidearm. And that's 2 straight.
Just on the edge.
Draws medal. Sounded like he draws medal, but not the basket though.
I checked this morning, not in the top out, but it was by the first tee.
Yeah, is this
I wanted to give the black chance. I'm not throwing that anymore.
Is this the pond they went in?
Yeah.
Let's see that Paul McBeth drive again. I believe it is his throwing putter. Optimal height, but just a bit of skip. Landing on the better half of the circle 1. Paul McBeth actually just passed his 400th career event, and this is his 405th event in his career. Took his license 2005, turned pro shortly after that. Currently rated 1046.
Yeah, and even if Paul has a relatively slow season going on, he's still 1046 rated, so
and
let's be honest, he's still playing great.
Yeah, and he has still won 146 events of those 404. So
yeah, and some of the events also this year. So I think we've not yet to see every Paul McBeth victory so far.
Yep.
Is he going for this? I think he was going for it.
Yeah, maybe a soft beat. I think he really wished not to go over the basket there. But that's two-sided because you don't want to hit the cage, as you told us. And there it goes.
Yeah, warming up, finally.
Jakub has had unprecedented slow start. He actually took 9 pars in a row, and he was putting for birdie on most of them, I believe.
Yeah, he was playing the boring game.
Yeah.
I was talking about earlier.
And Paul, beautiful birdie there. Jakub now has 2 birdies and 2 bogeys.
Yeah,
on his round.
And let's face it, it looks like he's playing like bad golf.
Yeah.
Boring golf. He's tied 10th.
Yep.
So we're talking about a very challenging course here. You're tied 10th with a par.
Yep. And Paul Macbeth moving 1 stroke away from Elias Luukkonen, who is leading the tournament right now. Moving to the last 3 holes, and first we have this kind of a short one. Oh, sorry, it's a par 5. It's a 300-meter hole. This is tough one. 3rd hardest on the day, 984 feet. And does this look like a normal ball golf hole to you?
Well, I have to confess, I've never played ball golf in my life, so I wouldn't say.
But you have seen Las Vegas golf.
I have seen Las Vegas challenge for sure. And this is a hard hole. OB surrounds this hole from start till the end. And it's a very narrow gap. It gets very narrow here just before the green, as you can see here. So you have to make a well-educated decisions. When will you do the attack? Because you have to attack at some point. Is it your 2nd shot? 3rd shot? Probably not the first one, but I mean, you can go for the eagle too.
Yeah.
Or do you just settle for par? Because there's also a very tiny hazard area just before the basket, so everything can happen. And as you saw, the basket is there on top of a hill. Big rollaways are always possible. I hope we don't see any horror shows here, but yet again, we've seen a lot. It's possible.
She cashed in the first one. I was wondering if she would.
Sure thing.
Yeah, that's the longest I've ever seen someone out for a sprained ankle. It's because she got married right now.
We have the Wunder Kid here. 2nd shot.
Yeah, he's playing for the boring one. Just hyzer, and maybe the 3rd one who wants to get to the basket playing for the birdie.
And you can see some gorgeous scenery here of these Norwegian woods, through which and beside which we get to play here at Krokhol. The course was actually first established in 2018 by Lars Zombie and Ulla Kolle. And here you have some Eurotour Pro Shop QR code coming at you. We have some great apparel. I mean, Jaani, you have a beautiful white shirt today. Would you rock that gray cap or the blue one?
Oh, any day.
Any day.
I love the colors. The more, the better. But I'm putting on a show of being official. Whenever I play, I wear a Hawaii shirt and the most colorful cap I can find. So I would definitely go there and buy me some colors.
And we'll chat about those caps during these short commercials that we're coming at you guys with. See you soon.
My name is Ricky Wysocki. I founded the Saki Bomb Foundation as a nonprofit organization committed to growing the sport of disc golf with America's youth. We've already sent first putt packages to schools in all 50 states with the generous support from our sponsors. Visit sakibombfoundation.org.
One thing we all love about disc golf is it's a lifetime sport. Whether you play pro, am, juniors, or senior grandmasters, we all want to play this sport as much as we want and for as long as we want. This can introduce wear over time, potentially hindering your ability to continue playing. A cart reduces the cumulative stress on your body that comes with repetitive motions such as reaching down and lifting. This will help keep you on the course, maximizing your athletic potential, and playing your best.
That's a skill of its own.
Yep.
To stop your run-up.
Yeah, welcome back. See Paul Macbeth first stop his run-up and then go for this humongous drive. But he gets some...
Is it OB? It is.
That's OB for Paul Macbeth. He didn't get the luck from the wind, I suspect.
And where did he cross the inbounds last? That's the question. And this is one of the holes that you can literally ruin.
Yep.
Your round.
Even Jans, current Norway Norwegian champion, getting just in bounds, and there seems to be some slamming wind for those discs. Jakub driving on third. This is looking great. That's how it's done.
It's right in the middle.
And silver lat.
Taking the hyzer route. Also
en route.
Also in the middle. I wonder what happened with Paul there. Maybe it was the distraction, the first run-up.
Yeah.
But something weird happened there. He overturned the shot immediately, and that's the worst possible outcome.
I mean, it seemed like he was throwing downwards a bit. I mean, did he have to do that?
I'm baffled. I really don't know what happened there.
We will see. We have a drop zone here on the hole 16. Let's go see Bradley Williams on this very hole 16. This is his third shot. Wow.
Is it going in?
Stay. Great job from Bradley Williams. he will card a birdie there.
And right, on this hole there is optional drop zone from the first shot. If the first shot lands OB, there's optional drop zone.
Okay.
So Paul may choose to throw from the drop zone if that feels better for him.
Yeah, that feels better for Williams. 2 birdies in a row, and he's now -5 for the round. Actually tied for the young gun, 15-year-old Hjalmar Fredriksson, who took a birdie on 17. They're both 5 down. Øyvind Jarns, he sneaks up there. He's 4 down with Miro Ryhanen.
Paul is not opting for the drop zone.
He needs to avoid that middle tree. This is looking nice. For sure. Going for the par.
Lots of work to do for that.
And seems to me that Paul is keeping his cool.
Always.
After some of those struggles, he still has carded only pars and birdies for the last 10 holes. He's 6 down. He's 1 away from the leader. And executing the next shot, he will remain on solo second place with 6 down. Now Øyvind.
And that's the tree you need to avoid. Green flag.
Jakub. A slower disc, not going for the eagle. Overstable approach disc. Prime position. Silver Lat. The Estonian started his career 2013, 170 events and career wins 46.
Quite impressive. Dominating the Estonian scene.
Going for the forehand. This is great. Stop, 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 stop.
It was great before that happened. Really, that's the question. Can't believe it. He can't believe it.
Wow. When you step on this course, you might say wow. When you go OB unfortunate ways, you might say wow. And this is Bradley Williams on hole 17. Drifting nicely. Is he going in?
Is he going in?
Just short. Putting for birdie.
17,
Solid.
an island hole.
Solid doing from Bradley Williams. Jarnes, he's 3rd. Seems like a full drive. Going for the green. That's gonna be a tough putt.
Yeah, as is customary here in Krokhol.
Let's see if we here can see Øyvind's disc. It's about 12 to 14 meters from the basket, and let's see if we are hearing some chains or if we're hearing some.
Yeah, it's been a theme. Øyvind is laying up.
Yeah, and just to make sure to all you viewers, we just had a couple of holes ago Irvin Jarns doing that chicken imitation himself for laying up a putt around circle one's edge, showing the humane side of him. And Paul Macbeth now driving his fourth. It's a long way, and this is turned.
Does it stay in bounds?
No, it does not. Or it does!
Some luck there for the sixth time.
Yeah, that was pure luck, hitting that rock and staying in bounds. I mean, he took the risk. He really took the risk.
Definitely was a risky shot, and he knew it.
Semerad. He has played this hole by the book until this point. Can he execute the approach?
This one needs to skip right at the basket, and it does.
Great job. 88 career events, 22 wins, member since 2017, Jakub Semerad, and he's been rising rapidly through those rankings, and he's 10-22 rated.
It's fun to see these Central European young guns rising up the ranks.
And he's been on fire on this Euro Tour. He took second in Pro Forester, third in Konopiste, and he's also toured in the States this season, all the way from Jonesboro, OTB Open, Beaver State Flings. And he's always been there. He's like on those top 15 spots many times.
This is a touchy one. You can't go long.
Go in. Reaching it for going. That's a great play, showing those sidearm skills.
Again.
Currently, 2 American players on the top 5 and 2 Finnish players on the top 5 and 1 Norwegian, Øyvind Jarnes, the local hero, should we say.
And again, just laying up.
Taking the par.
I mean, he's playing for the long haul. It's a long tournament. Everybody will face difficulties during these 3 rounds. And he's had his difficulties for sure, so probably he's just playing for the placement for the second round and then waiting to attack.
And talk about the difficulty of this putt right here. Paul is putting for par.
Yeah, anything but the cage here.
The cage. Lucky there.
There was a recipe for disaster.
But he has to take the bogey. And this means that Paul will drop to 5 under from 6 under. And Jakub carding the birdie. Without us noticing. He wasn't struggling at all. We didn't seem to care. Just cutting the birdie from 5 meters.
Yeah, that's the boring birdie.
Yeah.
Nobody even notices.
Yep. Jarnes taking his par and Paul for bogey. Let's see the scores up until this point when our feature card only has 2 holes to play. So Elias Luukkonen still in the lead from Espoo, Finland, near the capital. Bradley Williams 6 down, Paul Macbeth 5 down, Øyvind Jarns and Miro Ryhänen 4 down. Let's see the Williams. Williams is 17. Just over the cage there.
Sneaks it in.
So he had a turkey there, 8 to 10, 3 birdies, and then 4 pars, and then again turkey.
What a great back nine from Bradley Williams.
Yes, really, really great. No bogeys, 4 birdies, sorry. Now he still has the 18 to play, and with his skill set, I bet he will go for the birdie.
Yeah, 18 is also a very tricky one. Yet another island hole. We have plenty of those here in Krokhol, but we'll just have to wait.
And after this first free round from YouTube, you will need some subscription to be done if you wish to stay in tune with these Disc Golf Network rounds 2 and 3 from the Krokhol Open 2023. Here's a QR code for you, all with your fancy mobile phones on these days. Scan the code and support the best live disc golf content in the world as we go to the hole 17. Talk to us, Jaani.
Hole 17 is an island hole. As you can see, 4th hardest, average in 3.75. It's downhill, so even if it's 115 meters, you don't need to throw hard. You don't need to throw a 115 meter shot. Maybe an 80 meter shot will do. But, as I told you, it is an island hole, so you have to stay in bounds. If you don't, you have to proceed from the drop zone. And that's not easier throw at all.
And here you have Bradley Williams opening the 18th. That's massive. Great solid hyzer from Bradley Williams. Came here to play, and actually he said at the press conference that he really wasn't prepared for all these technical shots. He really had some fast drivers for some longer holes, and he's managing his bag really well.
Solid bounce, that's the most important.
26 people able to card the birdie.
That's 26 out of 144.
Yeah, I'm sorry, 26%, that's 30 players, but still.
Still.
Stay! Great shot!
Yeah, it did. Wow.
I was feeling some choking in my throat there, wishing the disc to stay in, and it did. Great breaks for Øyvind Jarns. Silver. A slower disc. Pretty much air. Does it have the brakes?
Goes towards the basket.
Beautiful. Gorgeous for Silver Lat.
Buttery smooth delivery.
Go. That's how you do it. We have
no difficulties for
no
our
difficulties
players here.
We have 3 drives just outside the bullseye, and Jakub just on the edge of circle 1.
Yeah, they make it look so easy.
This is not an easy hole, people. This is 4th in difficulty today, 3.75 average, and the distance is not the distance is not like 70 meters, it's 150 meters.
Yeah, it feels like 70. And it's an easy hole, but when you add the OB lines, then it becomes difficult.
Here's Bradley Williams in the 18th, approaching.
Oh
my. He's going 8 down. I'm sorry, he's going 7 down. I'm ahead of myself, and he will take the birdie. He will tie Elias Luukkonen with the 7th down round. I mean, that's 4 straight birdies for Bradley Williams to end the round, and that is the harder 9 this back.
I would say it is.
Wow, what a way to end his opening round here in Norway. And this is actually, if I remember correctly, this is his first big disc golf round outside the States.
Could be.
That's what I believe he said in the press conference. Look at those spots, like 3 discs just there.
Yeah.
And Jakub now about 8 to 9 meters. Yeah, just actually outside circle 1.
No.
Is that in bounds still?
Is it?
yards for the birdie.
I think it wasn't in bounds.
Yep. That's
so insult to injury.
Yeah.
Bogey for Jakub.
That is just what has happened on this hole earlier today. 54% carding bogey overs. 54. 19% players, 23 players carding the par, and 33 players, carding the birdie. And they have 1 hole left. Let's ride that hole 18 for you. You can see the sun is settling down for a bit, but it doesn't settle for the night in Norway. You will have light all throughout the night. And here we have hole 18. Par 4, 755 feet, 230 meters, averaging actually second hardest time. And we have seen some great action today, and we still have the last hole left there with those hazard bunkers. Ups and downs and ups and rollaways and some lucky kicks there from those rocks and stones. How are we feeling?
I'm feeling exhausted.
Yep, for sure.
We've seen so much action.
Yep.
Like I wasn't prepared for this.
Yeah.
It's too early of a season for me to actually witness this kind of disc golf. Well, we anticipated Paul being Paul, making all the big putts. He was great in the front 9, the back 9 a little bit slower. And again, I was anticipating seeing Øyvind Jarnes going aggressive. He's been laying up all the time.
Yep.
I mean, what's happening?
And almost the same score as Paul.
Yeah, like it's what's happening here? And then we get to see the finish, 18.
Yeah.
It's such a tricky hole with all the OBs and the islands and the little hazards there, which are a little bit lucky.
Yep.
If you ask me.
And just above us, you saw there the ending of hole 18 for Bradley Williams. He took the birdie from 2-3 meters, and he's now tied 7 down with Elias Luukkonen, and Paul is sitting on the 3rd with -6 for the round. Øyvind Jarnes still in the mix, 5 down, and he's now opening the hole 18, par 4. And this is what you must do.
Yes.
Marvelous hyzer.
Yes, this is what you do. And then you have to approach to the island. And this is what we talk about. Are you boring or are you big? I would say Øyvind Jarnes has been very boring, laying up all those big putts. And here he is playing for, well, -5 at this point, could be -6 in the lead card. So,
and he's going to be there on the lead card tomorrow if he doesn't mess up this hole badly.
Yeah. So I think boring is the way to go.
Paul, that form is just butter.
That's how you win tournaments.
He's going far.
Quite massive.
I mean, you're 6-time world champ. You have to outdrive the locals here.
Yeah, all the way from America.
Yeah. Jakub. Who actually outdrove Paul on the second hole. He's putting on some gas, and this is going far. Oh my. Oh my.
Yeah, over 150. Though it is downhill, but still.
Yeah, but controlling those drivers in these kind of situations, you can really get some big distances. And Silver Lat currently 2 down for the round. Jakub Semerad currently even for the round, carding the bogey on the last hole. And tyvärr, unfortunately for the young Hjalmar Fredriksson, he carded a triple bogey on the last hole.
Oh, he was doing so great before that, the 15-year-old.
5 down before the last hole. Marvelous things done there. Had birdies on the front and on the back 9, and he will be back for tomorrow for some more. He's currently 2 down.
It's probably a great lesson for him.
Sure.
You have to go there. You have to be on the first place. You have to feel that you are leading a major tournament.
Yep.
And then it's taken away. Like that's life. That's something a 15-year-old maybe hasn't experienced yet. You have to go there. You have to experience it enough times that you're not getting shaken when you notice that you're doing quite well at this point.
64% of the players carding bogey or worse here on the 18th. 24%, 28 players taking the par, and only 14 players carding the birdie, making this hole second in the difficulty today.
Just to give you a perspective on this course, a par still gives you a top 10 placement. This is a tough one. Has to stay in bounds. And it does.
It's beautiful. Yeah, Bradley Williams and Elias Luukkonen both had 1060 rated round with -7. -7. Miro Ryhänen 4 down, 1039. Matthias Juusdahl, Hjalmar Fredriksson 1025 with -2. Oh, this is rolling. No, 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 no. Stay.
Stay. No.
No way. No way. Come on the last hole. He had that same kind of roll away. I mean, was it hole 4 or 5, something there?
Yeah.
Through the woods, and the same disc, I feel like.
Probably was.
I mean,
like two very, very unfortunate rollaways for Øyvind Jarnes. This would have been a magnificent round
for sure
without those two.
Paul showing some Paul Macbeth little kisses for the basket there.
Playing for the audience.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, my gosh, what a rollaway again on the last hole for Øyvind Jarnes. Jakub Semerad choosing the forehand. Going high. Doesn't want the skip on the right side.
A little bit too high.
This is going OB. Yep.
Yep. It was too high.
I mean, he took the risk with the high play. And if you take the high side, you really wish to land on the left side of the basket.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And you don't even want to think about those hazard bunkers at this point. Of course, if the disc goes there, it can't skip out. But that's such a small area that you can't even think about it.
Öyvind
putting, and that will stay.
Trying to save the par and maybe even running it a bit, just a bit there.
Maybe giving it a 10% chance.
He caught provisional on his. Huh? That's fine, yeah. I'm also going provisional.
Jakub is fourth there, cutting the bogey. Making the stats of the whole 18 appear as correct.
Do we have a three-way tie going to the second round after Paul probably takes the birdie from here?
I mean, if he misses, it would be uncharacteristic.
No. Even I don't miss from there.
Yeah. Silver doesn't go for the birdie, takes the par, moves on, 2 down for the day, 10-25 rated round still.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, those ratings actually don't mean a thing if you can't take the birdies on the next day's round. But I mean, it tells you something about the course. Paul McBeth, beautiful birdie, a three-way tie on the top. Wow. Jakub for the birdie and Silver for the par. And that's it. I mean, those players, exactly 4 hours.
4 hours, yeah. It's a long round.
That's, I mean, on the dot 4 hours. And wow, we are going to analyze the situation, analyze for tomorrow, and we are going to come back to you very, very soon after this short commercial break, so don't go anywhere.
Boys down here, just finished checking out the your hat, and everything is A-okay.
Hey, Jonathan, catch. Huh?
Jonathan, we're getting an anomalous critical failure on your suit. Could you please confirm status?
Sorry, man.
Warning, low oxygen.
And we are back in the booth. My name is Esa-Pekka Tupala, if you're just watching us right now, and Jaani Lansio, the spin doctor, here with me for the whole tournament of Krokhol Open 2023. And what a day, Jaani, what a day.
Exhausting day.
Exhausting day.
And I was surprised to see this entertaining golf right from the start. I mean, normally you just take your time, you wait for the final round. Not today. These players went all in. And even if we see Öyvind playing the boring golf, he was still playing pretty well. I mean, he's in the lead card for tomorrow. And then we saw Paul McBeth, of course, struggling. Yeah, well, when you're Paul Macbeth and struggling, you're still in the lead.
Yeah, you're currently tied, three-way tied for the lead.
Yes, and Bradley Williams, one of my favorites. Always fun to see Bradley Williams play. He's known for conservative play. He normally doesn't go for it, and I think this course just might suit him the best.
Yeah. It doesn't really give you opportunities if you go for everything here. You will get those nasty rollaways, you will get some speed outs, and I mean, if you're on the rough, you have to run those putts hard, and then you get those nasty little things, and it happens to all of us, and especially for these pro-level players, they can't avoid mistakes on that course.
No, if you go there to avoid mistakes, you will never be in for the greatness. Of course, you have to risk it at some point. We didn't see Elias Luukkonen play, which is a shame, but we will see him play tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to it because I've seen him play plenty of times in Finland, and he's got game.
Yep, and when he's dialed, and he has some ice in his veins too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And we will see that tomorrow. And we are ready for the interview. Let's go to the clubhouse. Enjoy.
And we're here now with Paul Macbeth. Paul, a little kiss off the koozie there on 18 to finish with a birdie and tie the hot round at 7 under. How do you feel about that number?
It's a solid first round. I think I made a lot of mistakes out there, especially early in the round, that I can clean up. But for now, 7's good.
And for those watching at home and for people that have never been to Krokhol before, can you walk them through the difficulty of this course with the OB that is absolutely everywhere?
Yeah, it's unique. It's hard to describe because you think you're landing on grass, but little do you know there's a big old rock under there. So you're used to throwing these spike hyzers into greens or fairways, and you're hitting a rock and it's bouncing, rolling. And like you said, there's the OB on every hole. So it is very tricky. But it's a lot of fun. It's a unique challenge.
And so this is your 4th event in Europe this year, and a lot of us want to know how the European travels are going. And do you feel like the jet lag has passed? Do you feel comfortable with the way that you've been traveling around? Do you feel like you're yourself at these tournaments?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, to be honest. This is what I remember disc golf being like when I grew up. Throwing in the woods, shaping some shots, controlling your speed more so than just going out and ripping a backhand or a forehand. So it feels like disc golf again. It's exciting. Crowds have been great. They're showing up at each stop. So it's crazy to think I've already been to 5 countries now and halfway through. So really enjoying it, getting used to it, and just the different cultures has been a lot of fun.
And the question that we so commonly get asked, I have to ask you now, is how does this course and other European courses compare to courses back on the Disc Golf Pro Tour in the U.S.?
It's like picture playing places like Maple Hill in Vermont every weekend, so that's the easiest way to describe it. This is actually, I don't know if a lot of people know, but it's a golf course. It's a former golf course, and this is not what golf courses look like in the States. So it's old golf course, old back nine, I believe, and now it's just 100% a disc golf course. So, man, I just can't. It's exciting to just realize I'm only halfway through my trip, so I got a ton more disc golf courses to play. But yeah, I'm loving it.
All right, so just a couple blemishes on today's round, bogey on 4 and then on 16. Anything that you're going to change for tomorrow's round?
Both those bogeys were on shots I should convert. It's not like they're really challenging tee shots for me. I just lack of focus on those two. So need to clean those 2 up and just continue to play the back nine well like I did today, and hopefully score a little bit sooner because a lot of these par 4s are attackable, but I don't feel like I got as many as I should have.
All right, well, congrats on tying the hot round today. Word is we have 600 strong coming out for tomorrow's round, and we'll see you on the lead card at 4 p.m., I believe, tomorrow.
Perfect. Love it.
Thanks, Paul.
And here you saw Paul Macbeth, and it's really great to see. Paul has had some really great ups. He has some really bad downs, and now he's doing solid here at Krokhol.
Well, yeah, I mean, it takes time to adjust to these different kind of courses. Like he said, the courses are a bit different here in Europe compared to States, and even the golf courses where we are actually playing today is a lot different than American golf courses. So yeah, it might take some time for him to adjust. There is the jet lag, of course. Now a month, it doesn't affect him anymore. But the culture and everything. The Finns who go to America to play, they always come back with a lot of stories that, man, it's such a different place. It's so hard to focus. And Paul is now doing the same here, so it's probably a little bit harder to focus than back home.
Yeah, and talking about the Finns, we actually have Elias Luukkonen now in the clubhouse. Let's hear his story for the round. Let's hear from him. Having some technical difficulties there actually with Elias's interview, but he's familiar with these type of courses. He has played in the woods, and the woods in Finland are thick most of the time. If you play Tyyni, if you play some other, like Tali in Helsinki, they do have some thick woods there, and I believe Elias took down with those memories from those courses, would you say?
Well, most of the courses in Finland are very tight woodsy courses. There is this bedrock, there's lots of big, thick trees and small gaps, so basically the same kind of course as in Krokhol's.
Yeah, we'll get back to that interview from Elias Luukkonen later. What a day, as we were just talking about, and we will see some more action tomorrow. And if you are watching from YouTube, remember that this is the end for your path, so to say. We are continuing at Disc Golf Network's stream services tomorrow and for the final day Sunday. And if you subscribe to us, you will help produce the best live disc golf content in the world. And we hope that you have enjoyed your time with us and that you join us tomorrow morning again.
Bye from Helsinki.
Bye from Helsinki. See you again.